Ferry on a River, painted by Solomon van Rysdale in 1649. Solomon van Rysdale delighted in depicting the daily life along the Dutch waterways. The painting scenes included boats sailing gently across placid waters, fishermen casting nets under the shadow of an overarching tree, and travelers packed tightly into a ferryboat, sharing their ride with wagons, horses, and cattle. In this scene, Solomon chose to depict a massive stone castle, indicating the role that prominent Dutch families played in establishing the political and social structure of the proud land. One often finds a small village nestled on the distant shore, replete with a large church towering over the gabled homes surrounding it. The work is impressive in scale and visually captivating, for its melodious composition and for the rich variety of its visual elements. The group of trees centers the composition, and the sky provides a sturdy framework for the people and animals occupying the scene. One can tell that in the painting, Rysdale meant for there to be a breeze when you examine the rustling of the leaves and the ripples in the water. Also in this scene, we can depict the daily life of the Dutch. We see a boy hitching a ride on an open carriage passing through the castle, and the Dutch travelers in the carriage on the ferry, as well as a woman clutching a child in her lap. Ferries carried people from all levels of society, and scenes such as this suggest a broad sense of community among the Dutch population during this time period. This painting reflects the pride of the Dutch Republic around 1648, when the signing of the Treaty of Munster dignified the independence of the Dutch Republic following the 80-year War with Spain. The Dutch could now travel throughout their land peacefully and safely to explore without fear of martyrs or foreign troops. Many went east along the Rhine River to see historic cities such as Nijmegen and Rennen that have been so important to the formation of the Dutch Republic. When creating this painting in 1649, Rysdale used many different techniques that he adapted from earlier works of art and paintings by Dutch and Flemish artists of a previous generation. This included works of art by John Bruegel the Elder. John Bruegel the Elder was a Flemish painter, and one can tell from Rysdale's paintings that he took much inspirations from Bruegel's techniques. Ferry on a River is the start of a period known as the Classical period in the Dutch art world, and the founders of this period are Solomon van Rysdale, Albert Kupp, Meindert Habema, and Solomon's nephew Jacob van Rysdale. The only known self-portraits are of Albert Kupp, whom was a landscape painter of the Dutch Golden Age, and Solomon's nephew Jacob van Rysdale, whom was also a landscape painter of the Dutch Golden Age. In 1930, the painting somehow ended up at a Christie's sale in London, where it was bought by a Jewish dealer of old master paintings in Amsterdam named Jacques Goldsteiker. Goldsteiker was always a fan of Rysdale's artwork and how Rysdale portrayed the pride and landscape of the Dutch in his painting. In 1936, Goldsteiker organized the first monographic exhibition on the artist, where Ferry on a River was featured in the show. In 1940, however, Goldsteiker fled Amsterdam before the Nazi invasion of the Netherlands in May of 1940. Unfortunately, he died on the ship that was taking him and his family to safety in London. The Nazis seized Goldsteiker's gallery in Amsterdam. This painting and many other artworks were eventually acquired by Hitler's second-in-command, Hermann Göring. After the war in 1946, the Allies recovered the painting and handed it over to the Dutch authorities. The Dutch Recuperation Commission decided against returning the painting to the family despite years of protest by Goldsteiker's widow. In 1960, the painting was placed on view at the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, where it stayed until 2006. The Goldsteiker case was re-examined by a restitution committee in 2005, which recommended that the Dutch government reverse its earlier decision. The painting was returned to the Goldsteiker heirs, who sold it privately to the National Art Gallery in 2007. Ferry on a River is a painting like no other. It represents the pride of the Dutch Republic and how there is always hope in even the darkest of times. If this painting had been destroyed in World War II, or even if it had never been made, we would not be able to experience today the overwhelming pride and sense of community displayed by the Dutch. Through its long and dangerous journey, the painting is finally in a safe place where all can come to admire its beauty.